You're listening to the Law of Attraction Radio Network.
The secret to well-being is discovering the power that is your birthright, the power to create a happier, healthier life, drawn from our own vast internal resources. Join Jules and her guests as they gently guide you to shift your perspective from the familiar negative to the divinely connected, a place that will not only positively impact your world, but possibly shift the planet. It's all right here on Law of Attraction Talk Radio.
Well, welcome to Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I'm Jules from beautiful Southern California, and I've got my special guest today, Michael Losier, and I am thrilled to be bringing him to you because he's going to be talking to all of you entrepreneurs out there and how to get your business going. And specifically, he's going to be talking to all of those people who are Law of Attraction coaches, life coaches, or those aspiring to be. This is really going to be something you're going to want to listen to because it's going to show you how you can make money. And that's what we're all about right now, especially this month. Don't forget, you can go to loaradionetwork.com, and on the free money menu, all you have to do is click on that and you get my free money attraction hypnosis, as well as other things too. So you're going to enjoy it immensely. So use the hypnosis MP3 as well as all the information that you're gathering from Michael on today's show. You are going to love this. And I love him coming on because I just let him go. He is so full of fantastic information that I just don't want to get in there and interrupt.
Are you a Law of Attraction coach? Are you supporting yourself with this? If not, I've got the turnkey solution for you to finally make money while teaching others Law of Attraction. I'm Michael Losier, the best-selling author of Law of Attraction, which has sold over 2.8 million copies in 17 languages. Come to my event on May 16th and 17th in Las Vegas and discover the secret to your Law of Attraction success. Visit www.certifieidlawofattractionfacilitator.com for more information. Secure your place today. Visit www.certifieidlawofattractionfacilitator.com.
It's here, it's hot, and it's a must-read. It's the science behind the Law of Attraction magazine. Every issue brings you great articles and in-depth how-tos from all your favorite Law of Attraction experts, authors, scientists, and medical professionals. Go to lawofattractionmagazine.net. That's lawofattractionmagazine.net.
So, without further ado, here is Michael Losier. Well, welcome, Michael, back to Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I am so delighted to talk to you again, and especially about this topic that we're going to discuss with everybody. And this is the topic that all the entrepreneurs really want to know about.
Yes. Well, good. I'm excited to be here too. And I know, I was a business person first, and then I got interested in Law of Attraction. So I had the advantage of being able to talk about and promote the subject of Law of Attraction, which is a challenge, or any healing modality, any kind of work people do, with the business mindset. But as you know, some people are very passionate about healing and emotion code and body code and hypnosis and therapies, those kind of modalities, but they might not have the business background. So today, what we're going to do is teach people that have these, I call them soft skills, How do you talk about it? How do you tell people what you do? How do you stimulate interest in non-healings? You know, a lot of healers are working with other healers.
Yeah,
it's time
exactly.
to step out of that and go where the money is, and that's in corporate people and the one-on-one people. So that's my goal today, is to teach you watching, if you're an entrepreneur and you're a healer or a body code person, how do you talk about what you do so people get it without using the jargon? You know, so you can make money outside of healing other healers.
Yeah. Great. That's what we need to know.
Very good. Well, thank you for having me today.
Oh, gosh, it's always great to have you. So where do we begin, Michael?
Well, first, I have a little bit of a slide presentation, and we'll be talking for the podcast listeners as well. But there's a couple things, and one of the first things that I want to talk about is the business part of it. I'm just going to take us right to the slide there and show us what I'm showing. So the slide that I'm showing you is I designed this program for healers, emotion code, body code practitioners, and I'm an emotion code practitioner. And it's really in how to book more paying sessions just by using words. Imagine that, just by using your words. So the next slide here, Jules, is, well, where do clients come from? Well, there's new prospects. There's new people you're meeting, coffee shops, on the airplane, networking meetings, right? This is where most people come from. And then secondly, what do I do with an existing client? How do I get how do I give more services to an existing client? They're the two areas we're covering today. So first, there's an important notion. This is what we're going to call them body workers or healers or entrepreneurs or coaches, for example. I want everyone to know the underlying message here is that you are in business to solve problems. That's what we're in business to do. We are in business to solve problems. So knowing that, you need to be listening for the problem that someone has. So telling them that you're an emotion code practitioner, that you're a healer, that you do hypnosis, that doesn't tell them anything. So during this presentation, I want you to have the ears on. I'm listening for somebody's problems. So the next slide that we're going to talk about is words. Now, these are the words that when people hear them, it stimulates their purchases. Matter of fact, I'm quite certain that QVC and the shopping channel have these words written on their screen. They're watching these words. These words are what makes people want to buy. And we have a little code here. Jules, you'll see on the left-hand side, we have an arrow pointing upwards, right, and the right-hand side pointing down. So you and I are going to build a list together. I want you to write them down, and I'm going to get you to recap. Okay. So when people hear these words, it makes them say, oh, I want to have that, particularly if they describe the problem. So here's a list of up words. The first word is increase or improve. How about enhance, expand, build, create, maximize? If you're talking to somebody on an airplane or a networking meeting or a coffee shop and they say something like, oh, my energy is really low. Well, you don't say, well, I'm a motion code practitioner. Remember, what was the problem you heard? They had low energy. Well, how do you talk about it? You say, you know what? I can help you increase your energy levels and really improve your stamina, really improve your energy levels. And now they don't even know what you're doing. Yeah. It doesn't matter at this point. You caught their attention.
That's right.
If you watch the shopping channel or QVC, they use these words repeatedly. This product can help you improve your health and increase your vitality and increase your bloodstream and improve this and enhance this and build this and, save as another good word for up. So, Jules, can you summarize the arrow pointing upwards, please? These are benefit words.
Yes, they're benefits. So the increase, improve, enhance, expand, build, create, maximize, save, all of those are actually law of attraction words.
They are. They're positive words. Now, let's go to the right-hand side. I might be talking to somebody, even my barber, for example. By the way, I haven't paid for a haircut in about a year because I'm doing emotion code sessions with my barber. So my barber's telling me that at first that he had a lot of neck and shoulder pain from having his arms up all the time. And you know what I told him? I said, I can help you eliminate that shoulder pain and decrease the muscle tension. You know what he said? How do you do that? I mean, most people say, oh, I'm an emotion code practitioner, or I'm a body healer, or I'm a Reiki practitioner. My barber doesn't know what that means. So here's the down words. I'll get you to write these down. Decrease, lower, lessen. I can help you lessen your pain. Eliminate, reduce, cut back, or roll back. Walmart uses that. They roll back prices. It's like, oh, okay, I'm interested in that. Minimize. I can help you minimize your stress or minimize your pain. I'm going to repeat what we learned so far. You're in business to solve problems. So when you hear what someone's problem is, you need to use one of these benefit words. I'm going to tell you a quick little story, Jewel. Here in Victoria, they had an entrepreneurial center. And I used to do a seminar there once a month. They put about 20 people through this process once a month. And I would come in and do one on these words. And I actually brought the George Foreman grill with me. And I would set up the George Foreman grill, and I would give them a list of these words. And I would ask them to circle every time I use them. Because you know what? We don't really know what the George Foreman grill is made of, because nobody cares. Right. Here's what the George Foreman grill can help you do. You can eliminate the use of grease and butter, which will lower your calories and help you lower your weight. It also decreases any chance of having any buildup around your heart. It also will help you increase the speed at which you can cook things. It'll improve your health. You will save space because it's small, so you'll reduce clutter on your kitchen counter. You see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Now people say, oh, I want one of those. They don't even talk about what the grill is made out of. They're just using these words. And I would give them homework. I said, I want you to watch the shopping channel. You can take any product and you can hear the benefit words. Even blankets and towels. They find a way to use these words. And these are the words that stimulate purchases. Jewel, can you recap the down arrow words, please?
Yes. Down is decrease, lower, lessen, eliminate, reduce, roll back, cut back, minimize.
That's right. So when I meet other emotion code practitioners, one of their challenges, I said, oh, I'm having such a challenge trying to get clients and customers. And, when people ask me what I do, I'm fumbling. I don't know what to tell them. And I would say to this, if I could show you a way to help you improve the way you tell people what you do and help you increase paid appointments, would you be interested in that? And you know what, you're doing it right now, Jewel. You're nodding your head. Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
Absolutely.
You notice I haven't told them how I'm going to do that.
That's right. So
are you watching at home when you're one of those people that have challenges telling people, that question, Joel? So what do you do? As soon as I sit down on an airplane, there's people asking that question. So what do you do? Or at a net meeting, or my barber, or a restaurant, wherever I go somewhere, people say, so what do you do? What do you do? Well, when I tell them I'm a law of attraction coach, or I'm a law of attraction trainer, or a motion code practitioner, the conversation goes nowhere. Right. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. So the next thing we're going to do is I want to teach you a formula to answer that oh so famous question, so what do you do? And the purpose of this answer is to stimulate people so they say, oh, tell me more about that. Say yes if you're ready.
Yes.
Okay, here's the oh so famous question says, so what do you do? Now, there's 2 sentences. Only answer these 2 sentences and then be quiet. Let them come back. So remember earlier, Jewel, I said our purpose in business is to solve problems.
Right.
So the first statement we're going to say is, do you know when you hear about, and we're going to give our friends some example, and they're going to nod their head yes. We're not saying they have the problem. We're saying, watch my finger, I'm pointing to the right. Do you know when you hear about that person has that problem? And they say, oh, yes, I know about that. And they'll say yes. And then you say, well, what I do, and now I'm going to slide the screen down. We state the solution. So I'm going to do an example with the emotion code, right? When I tell people, I don't tell people, but a lot of emotion code practitioners and body healers and Reiki people, they do that. They tell people what their title is. It would be a good answer if they said, what's your title? You say, well, I'm a Reiki practitioner, but they didn't ask you that. They say, what do you do?
Yeah.
So, Jewel, let's just say we're at a networking meeting, and I want you to ask me what I do. And I want everyone to listen. I'm going to do the left-hand side. Do you know when you hear about? I'm going to state the problem. Jules is probably going to say yes, because I'm going to leave a space for her to do that. And then I'm going to jump out of the Superman booth, the telephone booth with the Superman outfit on and say, well, what I do, state the problem. So let's begin that, Jewel.
So, Michael, what do you do?
Well, do you know when you hear about people that complain about having chronic pain for years? They've tried everything. It's kind of unexplained. They've taken pills and drugs, and they've gone to chiropractors, and they're still not getting the chronic pain fixed.
Yes.
See? Well, what I do is that I help identify what's causing that chronic pain, and I can remove it from them forever in under 6 or 7 minutes.
Wow. How do you do that?
Well, that was so well done, Jules. But you see what happens when I leave the space there?
Yes. It gets a person excited.
That's right. I'm not trying to fill it in.
Wow. That's great. So you know when to stop talking.
Yes. And with all due respect, we need to shut up. Answer their question and then shut up. Let them fill it in. Now, let's do Ask Me Again. These are all emotion code related because I've been training emotion code practitioners how to talk about their product or service. Ask Me Again, Joel.
So, Michael, what do you do?
Well, do you know how you hear about people that sometimes talk about having a past relationship that has they know that? They know about a past relationship that's kind of damaged them for all future relationships. Have you heard about that?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what I do is that I identify what emotions are left over from those past relationships, and I help remove those past emotions so they can move forward and attract another relationship.
Oh, wow. I want to know more.
I want to know more, yes. And then you can say, well, it's called the emotion code. And, okay, ask me again. And again, we're just demonstrating for our friends. I want you to hear the model. When I say, do you know how you have this problem? What if they don't? Then the conversation's done.
Yeah.
So one of my friends is a parenting coach, and people would say, what do you do? And he would say, do you have kids? And what if the answer was no to that? Then where do they go with it? Nowhere. Mm-hmm. So let's practice with my parenting coach hat on. Ask me what I do.
So, Michael, what do you do?
Well, do you know how you hear about parents that are having challenges with their teenagers nowadays? You know, there's miscommunication and teenagers are bad and they just can't really connect with them.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Well, what I do is that I teach parents some of the secrets to how to connect better with their teenagers so they can get better results.
Oh, my goodness. I need to talk to you more about this.
Yeah. Or you could say, oh, my friend Betty's having a real challenge with her bratty kids right now, you know? So, but if I said to you, well, do you have kids? And if the answer is no, then where do we go with that? If you're watching live or you're listening, I want you to see me pointing over there when I say, do you hear about people? I'm not talking to, because as soon as you involve, I remember one time about a networking meeting, and so I asked somebody what they did. They said, well, do you know how you're having problems with digestion? And I thought, well, how do you know that? If you know that, you know too much. And what it does, it breaks rapport. And when rapport is broken, how long does it take to repair it?
It can be totally broken forever, too.
It can be broken forever. So you don't want to tick somebody off when they say, what do you do? You know, I helped a guy that was a computer guy, and he said, what do you do? He said, I'm a computer consultant. Well, that conversation goes nowhere. And I trained him to say this. Well, do you know how you hear about people that buy new computers and then they get frustrated trying to get all their data carried over and get some training on their new software? People say, oh my God, I had that problem, or my friend's having that problem. But if you didn't have a computer, you can still listen because you probably know somebody that's had the problem.
Mm, mm, mm. Michael, can I ask you to do another one, but have you addressed the law of attraction? Because as soon as I say I'm doing the law of attraction, everybody goes, "What the heck is the law of attraction?"
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, of course I train my facilitators how to answer this question. So you and I are sitting on an airplane, and let's just say we're in business class. So I'm going to make an assumption that you might be a corporate, a corporate director or CEO, or I'm just going to assume that for this. We'll give a couple of examples. So we're sitting beside the airplane, and I always like to get them to ask that. So the best way to get someone to ask you what you do is to ask them what? Ask them what they do.
What they do, right,
Yeah.
right.
So ask me what I do. We're in business class on an airplane. You got your power suit on. I'm assuming you're in business. Go ahead, please.
So, Michael, what do you do for a living?
Well, do you know how you hear about corporations that are having a challenge nowadays with negativity in the workplace? And it's pretty toxic. Like people are really, really negative in the workplace.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, what I do is that I go into the corporate environment and I teach the workplace how to stop having negative vibrations at work or negative vibes, and teach them how to start sending positive vibes and change the culture at the workplace around negativity.
Wow.
Yeah. Boy,
That's good. And you never use the word law of attraction,
No.
so you
Well,
didn't stop
that's right.
them.
Because they might say, well, how do you do that? And I say, well, I'm a law of attraction trainer. And one of the things we do is that we identify what causes people to be negative and attract negative things. So I walk people through a process. I teach them why they're sending negative vibes and attracting negative things. And it actually changes the culture of the workplace. Because I work for the government, Joel. It is a toxic environment, so I know that's the problem. Now, let's just say you and I are at a networking meeting. Maybe we're at a singles networking meeting. Ask me what I do, please.
Oh, okay. Well, hi, Michael.
Hello.
What do you do for a living?
Well, Jules, you know how you hear about people that are always wanting to attract boyfriends and girlfriends, yet they keep complaining, they keep attracting the same beeps over and over and over again, and they don't even know why?
Yes, but how?
Yeah. Well, what I do is that I teach them why they keep attracting those same kind of losers or negative people over and over again, and then teach them how they can actually attract their ideal boyfriend or girlfriend.
Wow.
How do you do that? And
How
then
do you do that? I want to know more.
Yeah, then you get to talk more about law of attraction. Okay, now we're at a BNI meeting or a networking business meeting. Ask me what I do.
Well, hi, Michael. What do you do for a living?
Well, do you know, I hear about entrepreneurs and business people. Sometimes they're struggling and, they're not attracting the sales they want. They're having challenges attracting customers. They just got so much going on. And when they do attract the customers, they're not really reliable and they don't really stay. Do you know people that have that problem?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what I do is that I teach entrepreneurs why they're attracting the wrong kind of customer and client, and what they need to do so they can attract their ideal customer and client and their ideal referrals.
How do you do that?
Well, I come in and I do a program. It's on law of attraction. And law of attraction is what is the law? Why are we attracting certain things? And I teach people why they're attracting negative things or customers and clients that aren't perfect, and what they need to do to stop attracting those clients that don't work for them and start attracting their ideal client. That's what I do.
Wow, so you didn't mention frequency, vibration, or
any
of those stuff because
you're
you don't know where that other person is coming from.
That's right. That is jargon and buzzwords. Now, if you've heard me use the word vibe, though,
yeah,
because vibe is a common four-letter word. Even in my seminars, who here knows what vibe means? And then eventually, I tell them, when I train my facilitators, you'll say, well, the word vibe, although it's a cute four-letter word, actually comes from the longer word
vibration.
Some people are saying, for the first time, they get it. Oh, really? Okay. So, even though we use the word vibration, it's a little jargon. You and I would use it, but somebody in the workplace doesn't use it.
Right.
So when I'm delivering the seminars and I'm talking to somebody at a networking meeting or my barber, I don't really use the word vibration because they don't know it.
Right.
Even though the word vibe comes from it, I use the word vibe. Everybody knows what a vibe is. You listening, you probably have said something like, wow, is she ever giving off a good vibe? Or, wow, this neighborhood has a negative vibe. So we're used to using the word vibe. So in order to you to stay in rapport with people, don't talk about vibrations and don't talk about vortexes. It'll separate you and them.
That's right.
And as soon as you break rapport with somebody, guess what? You are stuck. It's hard to get back into rapport with people once it's broke. So talk at their level. Everybody, it's a common denominator. Everybody knows what positive vibes are. Everybody knows what negative vibes are. Everybody has attracted negative people to their life. Everybody in business has attracted a client that didn't work out, or a customer that didn't work out, or a referral. Everybody knows those experiences. And you're in business to solve problems. You dig to find out what the problem is.
Brilliant.
So let's just summarize in case people are taking notes. So here's point number 1. You're in business to solve problems, period. So you need to be asking questions to uncover what people's problems are. You know, I'm helping my friend that's going to this trade show, and he's kind of nervous. He said, well, I don't know how to start a conversation. And I said, well, your job is not to have the conversation. Your job is to listen. You need to find out why they came to your exhibit. And he says, how do I do that? Because I love being at trade shows. When I was first starting, before my book was famous, I'd go to trade shows, and people would come to my booth, and you know what I'd ask them? I would say, it's a W words, except the word Y. I would say, so what caught your attention about my exhibit? Blah, 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 blah. And in their answer, they say, well, I saw that you were a coach, and you know what? I've always thought about, and let them talk. You ask one, so what brought you to my exhibit? What caught your attention? And in their answer, you will hear what their problem is.
So you're talking about be a good listener, not the first person to tell what's really going on. You've got to find out where they are.
That's right. You have to become a problem seeker.
Ooh,
I want you to get your magnifying glass out, and I want you to find out what their problem is.
That's great.
Of
course, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people want to take me for lunch. I don't. If I'm going for lunch, I'm going to find out your problems, and I'm going to help let you know how I can help. I don't go for lunch. I go for a sale. We're all in sales. Don't be shy to say that to yourself. If somebody wants to pick your brain, you pick theirs first. I even hate that expression. Somebody said to me this week, they said, oh, I'd love to pick your brain over lunch. I said, well, first, you can't pick my brain. You can ask me a couple questions, and then I'm going to hear what some of your challenges are, and then I'm going to let you know how I can help you. So we've gone from them thinking they're going to take me to lunch and pick my brain for an hour to I'm going to seek and find out what their problems are. I'm going for the sale. I'm not going for the lunch. Somebody write that down. I'm going for the sale. I'm not going for the lunch.
The lunch.
I know that's a brand new concept for a lot of people, and they might even think it's a little bit aggressive. You know what? I can't get fed for what I love to do. I need to get paid for what I love to do. And you can buy me lunch. And actually, lunch is too long for me. Lunch is an hour. Let's go for a half-hour coffee. I'll let you chat for a while so I can find out your problem. And then I'm going to tell you how I can, and you'll be stimulated because I'm going to tell you how I can improve, increase, enhance, or eliminate, or lower. And they're like, yes, I want that, please.
Wow. Good information.
Good. So we're summarizing again. We're in business to solve problems. Your job is to ask the right opening question. It's usually a W question. What brought you here? Where are you having problems? When is this difficult for you? You hear their problems and then use the benefit words. Jules, can you remind us of the up arrow benefit words, please?
Yes. Increase, improve, enhance, expand, build, create, maximize, and save.
Okay, good stuff. And what are the down arrow words?
Decrease, lower, lessen, eliminate, reduce, cut back, roll back, minimize.
That's right.
What's interesting, knowing the law of attraction, these words would be considered lower words, but they're not the way that you use them getting information. They're very positive words.
Yes. Well, as you know, I'm writing a new article for the Law of Attraction magazine. And when you and I were talking, I gave you a couple of titles, and you grabbed onto the one right away. And the title is, It's Okay to Be Negative, briefly. So it's okay for you to go to a coffee shop, have the conversation. It doesn't mean you're being negative, but you're trying to surface. It's okay to say, I can help you reduce that, or I can help you eliminate that. It's not negative because the results are positive.
Yes,
so
I love
it's
that.
okay to go and listen and let them tell about their problems, because you are a problem solver.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Jewel, I want to go back to number one. So let's just recap what we've done so far. Number one, new prospects. How to uncover what their problems are, how to use a benefit word to stimulate their purchase, and how to answer the question, so what do you do? Now, existing clients. I want everyone to write this note down. It's easier to get money from existing clients than new ones. Is that true, Jewel?
It hasn't been for me all the time, but so
Okay.
I need to listen to this.
That's right. Well, you know what? In my motion code business, it's easier for me to get rebookings from existing clients than the effort it takes to get new clients. But you need to do good work. So with existing clients, here's some of the rules that I have. I work on somebody in a half-hour motion code session. Say yes, Jewel, if you love a bonus.
Yes.
I love a bonus. I even like when I go for a coffee and they put a little cookie beside it. That's a bonus. I didn't order it, and it's a bonus. Or I like when you have a dinner at the restaurant and then they bring you a little treat or a piece of chocolate. That's a bonus. We love bonuses. We love things to cap off the experience. So when I'm doing a motion code session with somebody, at the very end, there's a process called creative insecurity. And it's for people that have creative blocks, or they have brain fog, or they're not being creative, or writer's blocks, or they just can't be problem solved. And I say, and it's a quick session, it takes about 2 minutes. And I always say, you know what, before we end today, I got a little bonus for you. I'm going to do and the results around this creative insecurity, removing the block, is huge. And they feel like they're getting something for free. And usually I do it after their 30-minute session when I have time. If not, I'll squeeze it in. But they feel like, wow, what a treat that is. I get to have another unasked for session and get great results. So do more than you're asked for. Find the chocolate, or find the little treat that you can give your customer or client that's of great value. Now, before I do an emotion code session, I like to know the severity. What's the severity of your pain or your block? And I write it down. And then, like clockwork, the next day, I will email them, or if I met them wherever, online or through Facebook, I'll send them a note and say, hey, I'm checking up from yesterday. Yesterday, your pain in your neck was a 9. We left the call yesterday. It's a 0. I'm just checking in with you. You know what? Your doctor doesn't do that.
Oh, no.
Your dentist doesn't do that.
Not anymore.
Your therapist doesn't do that.
Oh, no.
So it took me 30 seconds to send the quick email, connect with my client, remind them that, remember, because I want to be the hero, remind them it was a 9 and now it's down to a 0. Where are you at today? And in all cases, say, you know what, the pain is gone. And then they'll say, oh, I think I'm going to book another session, or I want to book another session. That's what client care is. It's just caring for your clients. I do a couple other things. I have a Facebook group for emotion code clients and customers. So now I get them inside, and when they book an appointment, I send them the link and I say, here's a 9-minute video to explain the emotion code process, and here's an invitation to my Facebook group. So now my clients and customers have joined my emotion code Facebook group, and you know what they're witnessing?
What?
They're witnessing all the successes that my other clients had. Some of them are talking about how I healed their broken heart and how I healed their knee pain and leg pain and their constipation and their nasal blockage and their ringing in the ears, and they're hearing everybody's successes. And then you know what people say? Oh, I'd like that fixed too.
Yeah.
So start a Facebook group. There's a lot of power in Facebook groups, because when you can move your database into a group, because people will join and they'll want to stay because of the community. You should see the activity in my emotion code. Somebody will say, hey, wow, Michael fixed the ringing in my ears. And people say, wow, congratulations, that's fantastic. And someone says, oh, I'm going to get him to fix mine too. So I have my Facebook group doing all my marketing through their success stories. So I just want to summarize my points here. Point number 2, existing clients, is serve them well. Give them a bonus treatment or a bonus something. Or it could be a gift or a report or something. And then number 2, follow up with them the next couple of days. See how they're doing with sincerity. And then number 3, capture them inside of a Facebook group. Some people send emails and newsletters out. I didn't find that too effective because a lot of people were getting stuff. But boy, when they're inside the Facebook group, they're staying. Because now they're meeting friends. They're meeting other people that have the same experience. And, Jules, is it true that we like to peek in on other people?
Yeah.
Oh, people are nosy. It's very Big Brother. People it's like the show Big Brother. People like to watch what other people are doing. So people like to hear what other people had fixed or healed. Last week, a guy told a story about his 3-year-old son that was always saying how sad he was. Imagine how sad he was. I did an emotion code session and found out when he was in his mother's womb, he got 2 trapped emotions, and these are unprocessed. One was loneliness and one was sorrow. So I removed them with the emotion code process, and now his son is cuddling up to his dad for the first time. He's 3 years old. Oh. And now people are hiring me because of that story. People are hiring me. 3 people have hired me that were already existing customers, knowing that I could work on their children. They didn't know that before.
So that's actually more powerful than doing testimonials.
That's right. Because, I get a testimonial. Even though they're real, they're quite polished. But when Caleb was in there saying, Michael, you changed my family life. My son is cuddling up to me for the first time in 3 years. And my wife and I are standing back. No, he hasn't used the word lonely in 2 days. A 3-year-old, how does a 3-year-old even know sadness? How does a 3-year-old even know about those words? Like, that just so surprised me. But we found out why. He was born with the trapped emotion of loneliness and sorrow. Little boy removed it. I remember the time I do a hangout show on Saturdays with the emotion code, and my friend John was talking about he helped a woman with her horse. She had a horse that was misbehaving. Well, we joked about him healing the trapped emotions in the horse. He got bombarded with horse people, doing horse people sessions. Oh, by the way, my emotion code show on Saturdays is really a sales presentation. We talk about the process. We heal people online live. Every week we have a different subject. And that stimulates people's interest. So service your existing clients. And the third part of this model was to do in-person presentations. They're one of the most effective ways to explain people what it is you do. I teach people how to do an emotion code presentation in the front of the room. They bring people up. They heal their neck pain. They heal their stuffy noses. They heal their ringing in their ears live within minutes in front of the room. There's nothing that shows it off better than somebody. Jewel, why don't you tell the story, if you don't mind, about you and I meeting for that lovely lunch in Palm Springs? And I pulled out my magnets.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I have never heard of it before. And I knew nothing about it. But there you were, and you were asking me questions, and I was telling you. And then you said, well, let's do it. I'm going, okay.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, well, sure. So you take out the magnet and you go like this. And I'm looking around the room and everybody's looking at you like you're going to attack me.
Hashtag IDC. You know what that stands for?
No.
Hashtag I don't care.
I know you didn't care at all. I thought it was hysterical. No, but it was really effective because you were doing the magnet, and I felt I told you I had pain in the neck, and the neck pain completely went away.
In under minutes over
Yeah,
lunch.
yeah. And it was very effective, even though all of those people in the restaurant were looking at us. I thought that was so cool.
Oh, I'm not scared. There's a breakfast restaurant across the street. I've done it so much at that restaurant. 3 servers have hired me because they'll come to the table after and the client and says, "Did you see what just happened? I came in limping," and they'll stand up and they'll squat up and down. And the servers are coming to the table all the time and they're watching me do it. And they always say, "Well, what are you doing?" And then I'll tell them. One server, she was addicted to, I remember this so clearly, chocolate-covered coconut almonds. It sounds pretty expensive, right? $10 a bag.
Wow.
She had them she goes, I would leave my shift, I'd go to the chocolate store, I'd buy about 10 of them every day. So one time, she's working the restaurant, and I got her permission, and I removed that about 6 months ago. She hasn't had one chocolate-covered coconut almond.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Good stuff.
It is effective. It is very effective.
It is. Well, that's part of...
I never heard of it before, and it was just like, wow, all of a sudden.
Yes. Well, that's an in-person signature presentation, whether it's in front of a group of people or whether it's I've been working with my barber or different things. Now all the barbers know. Like when I go in, they know, they probably have a nickname for me when I'm not there, right? It's like, there's that guy, the spooky guy or whatever they want to call. But when I'm done, I take the barber to the staff room, and then he comes out and he's doing this. He's armed for, you're sitting there thinking, wow, he fixed him. I said, yeah, fixed him.
Well,
Jewel, I think we did it today.
Yeah, the in-person signature is very effective because I was sold after you did that. Yes. And it was like, oh my goodness, I really want to let everybody know about this. So yes. I am one of your biggest fans.
Thank you very much. And I want people to look out for my my article coming up about it's okay to be negative, really, as long as you do it briefly. And I've got some tools and guidelines about that because people.
And then don't forget this beautiful one too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a copy too. In a plastic protective sleeve. I think I told you I sent one off to my mom yesterday who's in a senior home.
Uh-huh.
Oh, she'll be waving that around the home for about 3 weeks.
I love it. I love it.
Well, Joe, we did it today. My goal was to help people that are in the healing industry and the healing arts to be able to, A, help more people, get paid for more, explain what it is that they do, and stimulate people's interest to hire them. So we'd love to hear from you. If you've got some results today, leave us some comments, send us an email. And thank you for the opportunity, Jewel, because you can tell I'm very passionate about helping other people.
So tell us where they can contact you for the emotion code.
They can go to hangoutwithmichael.com/emotion code, and they can watch a quick 9-minute video that talks all about the emotion code chart, all 60 of the emotions, and how I actually do a session. So it's hangoutwithmichael.com/emotion code. And my hunch is I can be helping you with something. Jill, you know how you hear people talk about, oh, I carry stress in my neck? Well, unfortunately, there's 60 emotions that we carry. So my job is to identify which one of these emotions is causing the pain or the block that you're having, and then I remove it with a magnet because the magnet's stronger after I identify it for you. So check it out, hangoutwithmichael.com/emotion code.
Try it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Thank you so much, Michael. I just love this information. It's vital.
Thank you. It was great. And I know that we helped a lot of people out today, and that was my goal. So thank you very much, everybody. And thanks to the Law of Attraction magazine for the great feature and for the opportunity to connect with people again next month with my upcoming article.
And let's not forget that your book is being talked about on the Quantum Leap Book Club. of which you are there actually with Parisha and a whole panel, and they're going over your book, Law of Attraction,
I know.
with a fine-tooth comb, and it is brilliant. It is a great
It is. It's
show.
an 8-week program. You can still sign up to listen to those recordings. The live show, actually, we do. It's 8 weeks long. I think we got 3 or 4 weeks left. It's turned out to be really, really popular. I come in. They tell me what pages they were reading. I come in and I just kind of ad-lib and talk about what they learned. And then they have panel members discuss it. It is the most in-depth. You know, my book's easy to read.
Yes.
Because, I read it in an hour. Well, you know what? I've read a cookbook in an hour too. Doesn't mean I can bake that recipe. So Parisha's doing it such a great service to take the sections and read them well and dissect it and make sure people, because my book's a how-to book, she's making sure people are doing the steps. So certainly check that out.
Yeah, and you can go back to the archives and listen to them over and over again. You can download them onto your computer, but it is a show worth listening. Almost as good as mine.
Almost. Well, Jewel, let's say goodbye to our friends watching, and thanks everybody for chilling out with Jewel and Michael.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with another great show from Law of Attraction Talk Radio. If you'd like to comment on tonight's show, send an email to jules@loaradionetwork.com and have a great week.